Now, there's a piece of South St. Paul's stockyard history. It's up for debate right now.
Yeah, the South St. Paul City Council is going to discuss the future of two gatehouses from the former Armour packing plant as it looks to redevelop that land. Joe Mason live at the gates with a look. Joe.
Paul, if these gates could talk, they would have quite the story to tell. This was all built way back in 1918. 4,000 people at one point used to work here on the plant. It was the largest meatpacking plant in the country. Now, the plant closed way back in 1979. Now, the city owns this land, and they're looking at restoring these two gatehouses, either keeping them here on the property or moving them to a public park. Now, we spoke to the city administrator. Here's what he had to say about the future of these gatehouses.
The Economic Development Authority is established to try and promote the creation of jobs and the increase of tax base in the city. From our perspective, we think that the balance of that history and sort of that economic opportunity, we can find a win-win where relocating them would sort of maximize the possibility and the opportunity at that location and still preserve history, maybe in a more appropriate location that the community and visitors to our community can enjoy.
The City Council will discuss the future of the gatehouses tonight. They hope to make a decision on their future by late summer or early fall. Now, coming up tonight at 6, you'll hear from a woman whose father used to work at this plant. Hear what she has to say about what she thinks should happen to these gatehouses. Live in South St. Paul, Joe Mason, 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, Joe Mason out there at the gates. Paul stockyard history is up for debate. Tonight, the South St. Paul City Council will discuss the future of these two gatehouses from the former Armour packing plant as it looks to redevelop the land.
Joe Mason has a look at the gates that date back more than a century.
It's fitting she lives in an apartment complex called The Yards. Margaret Perez and her dog, Miss Diva, just moved to South St. Paul.
They have a cow and they have a bull, because it's from the stockyards, because it's South St. Paul.
Years ago, Margot's father worked in the South St. Paul stockyards, and she still remembers visiting the Armour packing plant.
They had the cows hanging, and then they would cut, and when you walked in there, it was like an awful smell. Just awful smell awful.
Now the city is considering the future of the only thing remaining of the historic Stockyards District, these two Armour plant gatehouses built in 1918.
Sort of the last remaining vestige of a bygone era, one that really kind of built the community.
South St. Paul City Administrator Ryan Garcia tells me the city wants to develop the land and restore the gatehouses. They're considering keeping them on site or moving them to a public park.
That's probably on the order of almost $200,000 per structure to really kind of make them watertight and preserve them for history.
I have gone by there, brings me all memories from my dad.
Margot hopes the gatehouses won't be moved.
They should leave it the way it is because that's history. That's history right here in South St. Paul.
Margot is one of many that has a family connection to the city's stockyards past. The city hopes to make a final decision on the gatehouses by late summer or early fall. In South St. Paul, Joe Mason, 5 Eyewitness News.
Welcome to my channel. My name's Carlo James Lamana. I'm here in South St. Paul, Minnesota. Today is Tuesday, June 10th. We're here at the Armour Gates, the world's largest livestock manufacturing back in the day. So I'm down here doing a little video. Channel 5 News was here yesterday. So I'm just doing a follow-up. Channel 5 Joe Mason was here yesterday. Giving a shout out to South St. Paul, Minnesota. the gates. So we're gonna see what happens in the future. (1918). Looks like we're on camera here. So I guess the council met yesterday and discussed what's going to go on here with this triangle lot. So we'll see what the future brings. If they move them or leave them here and restore them. So Joe Mason was here yesterday. Standing right there where the chain is, where the gate opens. The history of South St. Paul. So there you go, just showing you up close the armored gates that have been here since 1918. And we'll see what the future brings. Again, my name's Carlo James Lamanna. You could check out my website. I do live music, gonna do some car shows this summer. Have about 12,000 videos. Like Channel 5 said, it was the world's largest meatpacking plant in the day. So thanks for watching, and we'll update you on what happens with this triangle of land. Thanks for watching.